Good evening, everybody. Just a couple of reminders before we get going. As a courtesy to your fellow media members, the coaches and student athletes, please silence your cell phones. Also a reminder, recording press conference video on cell phones is prohibited. Please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the press conferences. We'll have 2 mic runners. Please wait for the microphone to reach you before asking a question. If you are joining on Zoom, please use the raise hand function for questions. We'll address questions in the room first and take questions from Zoom if time permits. Now joining us, members of the Arkansas Razorbacks head coach Dave Van Horn and student athletes Gabe Gackel and Reese Robinette. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach.
Yeah, I thought, as far as I thought our pitching was incredible. Obviously, Anderson and Shores did a tremendous job, and then they finished it up there with Evans in the 9th. But, we had a couple of chances to score some runs, and we didn't. Reese hit a home run and got us kind of feeling pretty good down 3-1. And, we just needed to score the next inning, but we didn't. But really it boiled down to Anderson just he didn't give us anything. I mean, he's 11-1 because he's really good. So that's all I got.
We'll open it up to questions for the student athletes.
Noah Bieniek of 11.7. This question's for Gabe. Gabe, since you moved into the bullpen after that Texas A&M series, 32 innings, 7 earned, ERA of 197. Today, outstanding outing, relatively full-strength pitching staff heading into the upcoming 4 games possibly for Arkansas. Can you just make a statement on, your mentality coming out of the bullpen compared to starting games and what that does for the team going forward?
Yeah, I think it's it's the same mentality, just going out there and pitching, and I just wanted to eat up some innings to save some guys because we've got a lot of games ahead of us. So same mentality, and we'll be back here in a few days.
Jackson Fuller, Southwest Times Record. Reese, I know you hit the home run, but what was kind of the conversation of the dugout? What was Cade Anderson doing to kind of make it a difficult night for the offense?
Yeah, he's a great pitcher. He's mixing well, keeping our hitters off balance, and we just had to, stick with an approach and stay with it, and just try to, put your best swing on it.
Matt Byrne, ADG. Gabe, for you, a career best outing for you. What was about, just with Zach coming out quicker and it being a quicker call to you, how is that different tonight compared to games past, times that you come out of the bullpen?
Yeah, like I said, it's the same mentality. It was a little quicker turnaround, but, you just got to be ready whenever.
Any more questions for the student athletes?
Gabe, it's obviously we've had a bunch of low-scoring games. Does it feel different as a pitcher pitching in this ballpark? Your first time here, can you feel maybe a different sense of how the game's going to go on the mound?
Yeah, it definitely feels different. A lot more fans, and we're playing for something pretty important. So there's a little bit of a difference.
Gabe, Reese, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll open it up to questions for Coach.
Jackson Fuller, Southwest Times Record. Dave, just what went into lifting Root there in the second? Was it a stuff situation? Kind of walk us through that decision.
Well, to me, It was a hard decision. I had to make a decision. Anderson looked really good. It seems like we weren't getting good swings off of him. We were already down 3 runs. They had, I think, Fry coming up, who's hitting over 400 against left-handers, and it was I just didn't feel like that we could let him score anymore. And I had a great pitcher in the bullpen who was hot. We got him up because we saw what we saw. 2 walks, hit by pitch, a hit or 2, and the game was about to get out of hand. And, it's early, but the wind's blowing in. It's going to be tough to hit it over anybody's head. And, scoring a lot of runs against Anderson to me wasn't something that was going to happen. And, I hated to do it, but I just felt like it was the right decision, and I'll stand by it. It was the right decision.
How critical were the 2 walks there in that inning from Root? I mean, especially Curriel, he gets ahead 0-2 and can't put them away.
Yeah, it was tough, unless you get out of it. And he didn't, he gave up a hit after that. And, maybe 1 or 2 runs, but that 3rd run, that was pretty tough. You're thinking, he'd already thrown 20-some pitches that inning, 25, upper 20s, I'm not sure what. But, you just the conditions and who we're facing and who's on the mound, it made those 2 walks look big. And they were.
Noah Bieniek, 11.7. Coach, Gabe was your opening day starter this season. Today was his longest outing of the year, and it came out of the bullpen. Is it reassuring to go out there and see him pitch at his best on the biggest stage?
It is. He threw 90 pitches. I think he struck out 10 guys. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, our team, we struck out 16. I thought the pitchers did a good job, just moving it around a little bit. Gibbler made a mistake, 0-2. Supposed to be down in the dirt and probably gets a punch out. And or Gackle doesn't give up any runs because that was his run out there. But he pitched great. He did everything that we were hoping he would do, and that's hold down a really good lineup and give us a chance to chip away and get back in. But their staff didn't let us.
Yeah, Dave, what was kind of the feeling in the dugout after LSU gets on you early 3-0 and uses small ball to do it?
Well, the feeling was we still have 7 innings to go, or actually 8, because I think it was the top of the second. We had 8 at bats, so we were still in it, 3-0, not a problem. We can score 3 real quick. Maybe not tonight with the way they pitched or the way the wind was blowing, but it can happen. And I think we were just trying to chip away. Now you start getting into the 5th and 6th inning. It's still 3-0. You're starting to get a little concerned, and then Reese hit a home run. Still nobody out, and that would have been big. I think we had another inning where we had the leadoff man on. He gets second on a wild pitch, and we don't score him. Now Thomas can't hit a ball any harder to center field. Okay, but that's the breaks of the game. But the mood was confident, and it's one game. Now we put ourselves in a hole that we got to dig ourselves out of.
Aria Gerson, USA Today. Dave, obviously this is not your first rodeo in Omaha, but given your past experiences, how are you approaching going forward, being in the losers bracket right away?
Well, obviously we need to move on from this one and get over it, and not think too far down the road. We just got to take care of business on Monday. We need to play good Monday. Because if we don't, there's no Tuesday. And if we can get through Monday, we got Tuesday, and we got to do the same thing. You just can't get all uptight about it. These guys they've come back and won games. They've done some great things this year. So that's what I told them. Right? We got a bullpen full of pitchers. We got a bunch of hitters that can hit, and they didn't have a good night. And we need to move on and get ready for Monday.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. DVH, you've seen Cade Anderson twice in just over a month. What is it about him, from your perspective, just make him such a special pitcher?
Yeah, he really just doesn't leave the ball over the middle of the plate. Even his misses are close. He missed a lot of pitches away to righties that you could tell he was a little frustrated that it was that tight. And change of speed's just enough. The first time we faced him, he struck us out more, but we hit him harder. When we hit it hard, and we scored some runs on him. Tonight, when we hit it, we didn't hit it real hard most of the time. So, just really, really good pitcher, polished. I think he's going to continue to just get a lot better as he gets bigger and stronger. You can just see the projection there.
Take one more question up front.
Yeah, Dave, are you planning on starting Wood on Monday?
That'd be the plan right now, but, I'll be honest with you, it could change when we look at this.
That'll conclude our press conference. Coach, thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us. Again, just a couple reminders before we get going. As a courtesy to your fellow media members, the coaches, and student athletes, please silence your cell phones. A reminder, press conference recording video on your cell phones is prohibited. We'll have 2 mic runners. Please wait for the microphone to reach you before asking a question. Please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a press question during the press conference. If you are joining on Zoom, please use the raise hand function for questions. We will address questions in the room first and take questions from Zoom if time permits. Now joining us, members from the LSU Tigers, head coach Jay Johnson, and student athletes Cade Anderson and Derek Curiel. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach and then open it up to questions from the student athletes.
Yeah, great win for our team. Outstanding performance against a great team in Arkansas. Start with Cade. Outstanding performance, what we've been accustomed to on the opening night of every weekend this year. I thought he got stronger as the game went along. I thought he executed pitches at a really high level, which you have to do against that offense. I thought the bullpen was great. Chase coming in with a man on base, executing, getting 2 strikeouts right there. And then we got the fly ball, or line drive, I should say. And then Kaysen, great poise in the 9th, especially after giving up the single to Davalon. Offensively, we did just enough, and really good job by Luis drawing a walk, Derek falling down 0-2, drawing a walk, and then great bunt by Danny. Chris staying within himself, not trying to do too much, moving the ball to the outfield, get another free base with the hit by pitch, and then Josh again moving the ball against a really tough left-hander to get 3, and then Cade got stronger. Big hit by Derek there in the 8th inning, I believe. Yeah, the 8th inning, and as usual, really good defense by our team tonight. So good performance. Get ready for Monday.
We'll open it up to questions for the student athletes.
Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge. Cade, we'll start with you. Obviously, last week you were super not happy with your performance, I guess. Just speaking of the grinding nature of the last 2 games that you played in, I guess, just where do you get that strength to kind of overcome some hiccups early and battle through there?
Yeah, I think that's part of the game, and you don't take those for granted. It's a learning lesson. And to have that experience and to learn from that outing was huge. And Coach Yeski and I kind of went through it and kind of found out what was the plan for next week to be better. And just kind of taking it all in. And that was cool, really, really cool moment. But just excited to win. That's all that really matters.
Adam Meeks, Baseball Kids of America. Yeah, I know it's weird seeing a kid asking a question, but I'm going to do it. Kate, you pitched a great game today, 7 innings, and you held the Razorbacks to 1 run. I'm just curious, will we see you pitch again this tournament? Do you have any energy left after that stunning performance?
Yeah, I completely expect to pitch, and obviously that's not really up to me. It's up to coach. But I want to pitch again, and this is a really cool moment for our team, and we'll be ready to go.
Scott Rappley with the Baton Rouge Advocate again for Cade. Cade, as a kid growing up in Louisiana, probably when you were this guy's age, you probably dreamed of this moment. How did you not let it get too big for you?
Yeah, I think just taking it all in, and that's why you come here, and really just proud of our team. And at the end of the day, that's all you need to do is win. And it doesn't matter the stat line and kind of how this paper lines up, but we won the game, and that's really all I care about.
Noah Darling, College Baseball Central. Guys, kind of building just off of that question there. Felt like a very business-like approach today for really the offense and Kate on the mound. Is that accurate, what I'm picking up on, and how do you manage that in this stage and that crowd?
Yeah, I think Coach Johnson does a really good job in preparing our team. And when you treat every game like a playoff, you get used to it. And the LSU's used to be in Omaha, and that's something that we do often. We're proud to say that, but we're meant for these kind of games, and we're excited to keep going.
Leif Skotnick, WorldBaseball.com. Cade, you faced Arkansas earlier this season. What did you take away from that and learn from that game and take into tonight?
Yeah, I take every outing with a grain of salt, and just looking to prepare for the next one. Obviously, you look back a little bit, but every week's different, and kind of how they prepare as well is different. So just continuing to live in the classroom, and that's the best part of it.
Noah Beanick of 11.7. I have a question for Derek. You've been sitting here, a lot of people asking questions about about Cade and his performance tonight. I would like your opinion on it, but specifically for you as well. A big hit against West Virginia with a very good left-hander out of the Big 12 and Griffin Kern, and then today against Zach Root, 2 huge hits against lefties throughout your freshman year. You've been great. Can you just describe kind of these big postseason moments against the left-handed pitchers you've had lately?
Yeah, Cade's been great. Super happy for him. He's a great teammate. I look up to him a lot. We played when we were younger. He's always been dominant on the mound, and he used to swing the stick pretty good too. So I'm just super happy for him. He's been great. He just does what he does, and it's just business as usual. So I'm just super happy for him. He competes his butt off, and I'm proud of him. To answer your second question, just been working in the cage. Baseball's a game of failure. Just trying my best to stay in there on the lefties, and Chief and I got to work, just keeping my shoulder in there and just try to stay on balls, and just having fun and learning from my mistakes, and just getting better every day. That's what baseball's about.
Michael Cobble, WBRZ, was today with Derek. Just the patience needed. You knew that Arkansas had some good arms. They're going to run some good arms at you. Gackle, obviously, you've seen him before, right? But just the idea to stay with it and then continue to battle and go with it the other way.
Yeah, trusting myself with 2 strikes, whether that's taking or swinging. I know with my hand-eye coordination I could be able to battle at any count. So I'm never defeated in the box, even when I go down 0-2 on some 2 pretty ugly swings, probably my 2 ugliest swings of the year. But just having confidence and just sticking to my approach, and knowing that he was going to go back to that pitch, staying on it.
Any more questions for student athletes? Take one more.
Whoever wants it, either player, just the idea that you could likely see them again, right? I mean, the way this thing sets up and the way college baseball is playing this year, you guys might see Arkansas again. What did you learn from tonight, about this team that maybe you didn't know?
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, we treat every game like a playoff, and we'll be ready to go. We've faced them 4 times, and I like the results of what we had, and just continuing to go out there and battle. And we're not, like Coach Johnson said all the time, we're not playing Arkansas, we're playing the game. And when you take that kind of note at it, it's just another game. And I think that playoff mindset has really helped us a lot.
No, I'm waiting on coach.
Cade, Derek, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, guys. Nice job, guys.
Okay, now we'll open it up to questions for Coach.
Charles, American Press. How do you explain striking out 16 times and still, what do you have to do to overcome that and win a game?
Yeah, I've seen it before here. If there's a pitching staff that is capable of doing that to our team, it's the one we just faced. You know, Zach Root's an All-American. Gabe Gackel is one of the best pitchers in the country. Gibbler's a lefty specialist, and Fouch throws 100 miles an hour. So that's that. And then proud of my team for fighting their way to win.
Is it a matter of taking advantage of every opportunity you might have there?
I thought we did a good job of that tonight. Again, when you're facing those caliber arms, you're not going to get a ton, maybe like you would playing in SEC ballparks where the home run's a real thing with every pitch of the game. I thought we did an excellent job of that, setting the table. Walk by Luis, walk by Derek, drag bunt single by Danny. Really good at bat by Chris, really good at bat by Michael, really good at bat by Josh. And, I've coached enough games here to know that playing with a lead is really important. And I'm happy our team was able to do that tonight. And then Gabe made it tough on us. Like I said, he's one of the best pitchers in the country, electric arm. And, we got ourselves in position. Great base running play by Steven. Just a little bit of bobble in the outfield to get to second base right there. And my man over here was born to hit, and he stayed on the ball and did what he does.
Do you feel like winning this first game is more important this year than ever?
I said this the other day. Lots made of it, especially when you're playing such a great team. I didn't feel like it was a death sentence. They call it a double elimination tournament for a reason. We have very good pitching depth, as does our opponent, as does UCLA, as does Murray State, as does Arizona, as does Coastal, as does Oregon State, as does Louisville. It's the only way you get here and survive the regional format and the super regional in the season. So we were just focused on the game tonight, and we had a plan either way, whether we're playing at 1 o'clock or 6 o'clock on Monday. We were going to have a plan for tomorrow and be ready to go. So I think anytime you make it more, you're taking your focus off of execution, and that's not what we do.
Coach, to go with Kaysen in the ninth inning there, what was sort of your thought process, given that he could be a guy who could help you guys out as a starter later on in the tournament?
Yeah, I think you're playing one of the best teams in America. You're at the top of their order. Davalon, huge year. Lloyd, did he win the Golden Spikes? Have they announced that yet? But he's up for it. Maxwell's hitting in the 3-hole, had a huge homer, I think, against Tennessee. I like the strike zone pressure that he presents. I like the matchup, really good. And, what did he throw? He threw 13 pitches, so I like his efficiency there.
Michael Poggi, KLSU Sports, right here. Just kind of, explain Derek Curiel's at-bats. They were amazing at-bats, even in a night where strikeouts were kind of coming to y'all. Explain Derek's time at the plate.
Well, I think the first at-bat might have been one of the most under-noticed, most important at-bats of the game, where he fell down 0-2 to Zach Root and fought his way back to walk to put him in this, runner and scoring position for the first time. So that was huge. He was able to draw a walk in his second at-bat. And then, to stay on Gibbler, he's nasty. If I remember correctly, he hadn't had a ton of innings by the time they came to us, which was the second to last weekend of the season, and we were like, man, who is this guy? And as he said, he's deceptive. It's a tough breaking ball that he throws. He got him with the 1-strike-1. He got him to chase it, but he stayed on it and just got it elevated enough and stayed through it for a 2-out, what we call golden. 2-out hits are golden with runners in scoring position. And great at bat. But, I'm not surprised. Like I said, he's born to hit. His disposition, his demeanor is made for hitting with runners on base, made for playing in games like the College World Series. He'll probably play in the Major League World Series someday because he's got that it factor character.
JDVH was saying he thought the last time they played you guys that Cade struck out more batters against them that game, but he thought they made harder contact. They didn't make hard contact tonight. What did you kind of see in his stuff tonight versus when you face those guys on the 9th of May?
Yeah, I think I'd point more to him. I mean, he's got tremendous stuff. It's 4 pitches for strikes. He's never boxed into having to throw a certain way, which, you know, as a hitting coach makes it really tough to plan against him because he can always pivot, and he's got a plan for any type of hitter, left, right, power, good bat to ball type guys. And I thought he just executed, and I mean, he's such a tremendous competitor. I mean, he got us a win in a super regional game and got us through the 7th inning and was, you know, I'll just, for lack of a better word, irritated at his performance. And those guys are special. You know, they don't come along very often. When you put that 4-pitch mix with that type of competitive fire, feel for what he needed to do, like he said, live in the classroom. He was right back to it, and Coach Yeski and him did a great job of making sure he was ready for today.
Hey, Jay, in the back, Corey Diaz with the USA Today Network and the Daily Advertiser. Forgive me if you've been asked this, just walked in, but were you surprised that Dave pulled Zach so soon in the game? And I guess the second part of that is, how much was your guys' offensive execution from top of the first to top of the second? How much did you feel like that sort of played into that?
Yeah, I think, you know, he's one of the best pitchers in the country. I know he was first team All-SEC. I'm sure he was an All-American. I mean, we tried to get him. I mean, so he's really good, really good. You know, you're talking about coaching against one of the best coaches in the history of college baseball. Like, he knows his players, and maybe he saw something that he didn't like, and he brought in a guy that's really, really good, you know, in Gabe. And, you know, so that's what they decided to do. As far as what we did from the first to the second, it's just about settling in here. I mean, how many people were there tonight? It's like 25,000. Awesome crowd. You know, we tried to prepare them for that, but I'm sure, you know, we're the visiting team. We're going up to the plate first against one of the best pitchers in the country with everything else going on. And I think it just took us an inning, 4 at-bats to kind of settle into the game.
We'll have time for one more question.
Coach, you talk about, you know, LSU going back to playing their brand of baseball. How did you see that all come together and really just click tonight in that second inning and on?
Yeah, I think it's just the word I would use is maturity. You know, Luis has been excellent in this postseason. I mean, one of the unsung heroes, MVPs of this thing, to do the job he's done behind the plate, take the mature caliber at bats that he does and did right there. And then, like I said, Derek, you know, going 0-2 to a walk right there. Danny, you know, laying down the drag. You know, Chris, you know, I think it was strike 1, and then he stayed on the ball and drove it to the outfield. Michael didn't move his feet right there, and breaking ball hit him. And then Josh, you know, is in there for a reason, you know, and it's always this time of year, like, you know what you're going to get, and did exactly what we asked him to do. So I thought it was great. It was just enough. And that's okay. You know, it's you know, we focus on how we play and how we win probably more than any team in the country. It's not, we don't just sell out to that, but when you're playing this opponent, this arena, you know, just finding a way to get it done. I'm proud of the team, and they'll have to reset and get ready to do it against another really good team.
That'll conclude our press conference. Coach, thanks for your time. We'll see you on Monday.
Thank you.
Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. We'll see you all tomorrow.